Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Night Field here at Southern Virginia University as your Southern Virginia University men's soccer team opens up their regular season here at home against Ferrum College. My name is Jake McMahon, joined here today by Sam Horman, former soccer player for the Knights and now punter for the football team.
Converted punter, yes.
Converted punter for the football team. It's a rainy day here in Buena Vista, Virginia, but the Knights nonetheless are ready to go for their home opener. And we'll go ahead and get started right off the bat with the starting lineups.
Starting for Ferrum, we have number 0, Marco Rivera. Number 6, Keith Ricks. Number 7, Sam May. Number 9, Oliver Flood. Number 10, Michael Lyons. Number 12, Ba Dijendaha. Number 14, Hector Carrion. Number 15, Moore DeLu. Number 17, Jordan Gibson. Number 20, Antonio Carabata. Number 24, Graham Hawley. And now for your Southern Virginia Knights, starting in goal, number 1, Colin Flynn. Number 5, Matt Deedy. Number 7, Anthony Bowden. Number 8, Greg Allen. Number 11, Merritt Weeks. Number 12, Sean Diamond. Number 14, Nathan Maloney. Number 19, Edwin Hernandez. Number 20, Matthew Jones. Number 24, Tyson Ricks. Number 26, Jeremy Wilson. And number 29, Elijah Mendoza.
Now, for those of you who are not 100% up to date on Knights happenings here in men's soccer here at Southern Virginia University, the Knights are under the new leadership of Coach Jan Boer, a Netherlands or Holland. You take your choice. You take your pick. Native of Holland or the Netherlands, former assistant coach for Knights men's soccer under Coach Josh Patino, who now coaches or assistant coaches women's soccer at Gonzaga over in Washington. So about 2 weeks under the direction of Coach Jan Boer. And a couple returners here with us. Colin Flynn in the goal, the senior out of Chesapeake, Virginia, looking to come and get his senior season underway with some success in the goal. Other starters that are returning, we have Matt Deedy playing defense, a great defender, great leader for the team. Greg Allen coming back after a one-year hiatus, as well as Merritt Weeks, who should be a great leader for the team in the midfield.
Aside from that, we have quite a few new talented players coming on, a lot of freshmen, a lot of new people. Again, this team's only been together for a couple of weeks, so I think we're all pretty excited to see the energy, how they flow together, how they play together. I think they do have a lot of catching up to do with an already established Ferrum College roster and some depth in their roster, but I think they're going to come out and show that they definitely have the energy to play, and we'll see how well they go together. As
the starting 11 does have multiple returners from last year, they are some of the only returners on the entire team. Only 6 or 7 returners from last year, Sam. The Knights having to deal with a lot of transfer students / incoming freshmen, high school graduates. So it'll be interesting to see how the Knights mesh together here in their home opener against Ferrum College, a team that is based on paper, obviously much more experienced. The Knights, though, coming out with a lot of energy and looking to be led by such returners like Matt Deedy, like Colin Flynn being vocal in the backfield, and hopefully getting some great distribution from players like Merritt Weeks in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And having played with some of these kids, I know for a fact Colin Flynn will be very, very vocal about making sure his defense is in the right spot. He's a very big presence despite not being the tallest player on the field. He's very talented goalie, though, and I know he's very excited to be back. So we'll just see how they come out with kickoff coming up in a bit.
Knights coming off a 3-14 season, 1-8 in the Capital Athletic Conference last year. Ferrum College not a Capital Athletic Conference opponent, so starting off with a non-conference game here at the fields at Southern Virginia as they prepare for conference play, looking to improve on last season's 1-8, not the season they hope to have. This year projected to finish 10th out of 10 in the Capital Athletic Conference, but I know the players and Coach Boer have different plans for this season. And we will get underway here at the fields at Southern Virginia University as the Knights will take first possession and passing immediately back to the defense, trying to control some possession but give it up pretty quickly and taking it back now again.
Not bad, but a little bit scrappy.
Ferrum College out on the wing passing to the midfield. And the Knights playing some really tight defense right off the bat, trying to put men on, obviously looking for a more physical style of play to begin the season, which completely matches, Sam, Coach Boer's style of play, being from Europe, being from Holland / Netherlands, like we said, take your pick. I'll say Netherlands the rest of this broadcast to save my breath. He is a very physical style coach. And so you imagine that you'd see that translated onto the field as we already have here in about the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, and that was something that Coach Patino was very strong on too, was it's not necessarily the most talented player sometimes, it's just the kid that wants it more, and I think Coach Boer's carried that over into his mentality where, you know, you just work hard and sometimes you can come out with the ball, and I think already we're seeing that from the Knights as they are very, very tight on most of the defenders and getting there.
The ball will go out of bounds at the end line, and goal kick called by our center referee. Goalkeeper Colin Flynn will have his first touch of the game. As the referee has words with Colin Flynn, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be said. Oh, he's asking to change his penny to something a little different from what the referees are wearing, I'm imagining.
Yes, I believe that was the issue. I'm sure he thought Colin was a ref.
He has that leadership demeanor. I could see it. So Flynn in the goal, putting on the neon red shirt to be able to stand out a little bit more following his preparation, getting his gloves on. We will resume play here at the field. You see Merritt Weeks back here on the left wing wearing the captain's sleeve, number 11 for the Knights, playing on the back line. Merritt's typically a midfielder, might be in a holding mid position. But based on the formation we have right now, looks like Coach Boer might have actually put him back into an outside back position.
Looks like it. Looks like they're playing with 3 in the back. Looks like a 3-4-3. Might have some adjustments in the midfield and strikers, but it looks like just the 3 in the back. Pretty solid players, though, as they get a great chance here. Oh, but it gets kicked out of bounds.
And the Knights with some pressing play there right off the bat. That was number 19, Edwin Hernandez, right there inside the box, going for a quick shot before a man was able to deflect that or put some pressure on him to force the bad shot. And Ferrum College will have a quick goal kick out to their right back. Ferrum College moving it across the middle.
Looks like it might have even been an offsides call on that last one. He may have been a little bit behind.
I think you're right, Sam.
You can see most of the play right here is all on the close side of the field here. It's not very spread out. I think both teams a little bit clustered right now, trying to branch out and spread out their players, but it looks like they're contained to one side of the field so far.
Ball falls back to the goalkeeper, Marco Rivera, for the Ferrum College. Knights regain possession in the middle. Looking to find players in space. He drops the ball. The Knights looking to switch the field here. Out to the side, looking for the little wall pass. Gives up possession. Ferrum College now with the ball on the wing. And the Knights fighting for possession there. That is number 7, Kobe Bowden. Not the largest player on the field, Kobe Bowden, but certainly one of the quickest, some very skilled footwork, and showing some physicality there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on these last couple passes, the wetness of the field does affect how the ball travels. So I think that last pass to the goalie, a little bit long. Some of these passes skip a little bit more than they're used to. So I think some adjustments from both teams need to be made with some errant passes so far, but I think they're adjusting in.
Like you said, Sam, an uncharacteristically cold day here at Southern Virginia University for September 1st. About 65 degrees today, in the low 60s. Typically, we're looking at mid-70s to low 80s at this time of year. But it looks like maybe some of that rain from Hurricane Harvey has moved up just a little bit, brought in a cold front, and the rain has brought some cold. So the players will have to accommodate that a bit.
Yeah, it looks like the ball is definitely skipping around a lot more than either team would like it to, but I think so far it hasn't really favored either side. They're just trying to make adjustments to get there. This ball is dropped back to Colin Flynn. He clears that out.
And you can see Ferrum College playing the high press there. That was number 7, Sam May, the freshman out of Matlock, England, putting the pressure on goalkeeper Colin Flynn. Ferrum College with the ball, gives up possession to the Knights. That is number 12, Sean Diamond, with the ball. And looking up the field, almost a really, really good ball. Just put a little too much on it, intended for number 24, Tyson Ricks, the midfielder, freshman from Idaho Falls, out of Compass Academy there in Idaho. And the Knights really doing a good job at really keeping the possession and play pretty equal here with Ferrum College in the first few minutes of play.
Yeah, I think they're starting to settle down, starting to spread out a little bit. You can still see a little bit of a gap in between the defense and the midfield, and I think Ferrum has exploited that here as they take the ball into the box. A little bit of contact, but the refs let it go.
Great tackle there by freshman Elijah Mendoza. Able to get all ball there and avoid any sort of penalty in the box here early in the game, and the Knights are able to clear that out. So dangerous counterattack there for Ferrum College, but the Knights have been able to respond.
That is one of the hardest things for most teams, is to try to get those gaps filled between the mids and the defenders, or the mids and the strikers. And you can see the Knights having a little bit of a gap there that Ferrum took advantage of between the back three and the middle four. But I think, ooh, a good attempt, though. Good idea for a pass, trying to get that through ball that ends up at the goalie's feet, though.
Tyson Ricks putting some pressure on Marco Rivera there at the edge of the box. Rivera able to clear that out. Ferrum looking for the through ball. Hand goes up for the Knights, looking for an offside call. Ooh. And it goes off the head of Matt Jones there, where I believe it was number 6. It was number 6 for Ferrum College, Keith Ricks, looking for a header or maybe a shot off the volley.
Looked like he had a pretty good scissor kick lined up, but just little deflection off the head really makes a difference. So good defending there by the Knights.
Another clearance there by Elijah Mendoza, getting his workload here early in the first half there on the right wing, as Ferrum College looking to exploit the Knights on the wing and get some crosses over the middle here early. Corner kick here for the Panthers, and that is in over the middle. And that was number 17, Jordan Gibson, looking for the shot there, and sends it well wide. Didn't quite have the angle he wanted on that.
Would have actually gone out for a throw-in, which isn't what you want on a shot. But, again, good attempt. I mean, he went for it, so credit where credit's due.
Absolutely. You gotta take shots to make goals, you know?
I've heard that, yeah. Statistically, it helps.
Panthers play back to Marco Rivera in the goal. Swings out to number 14, Hector Carrion, taking it up the right wing. Passes it in the middle. The Knights able to intercept. Ball played over to Merritt Weeks. Or that is not Merritt Weeks, rather Greg Allen.
Merritt Weeks now with the ball.
Yep.
The Knights again having trouble with that quick counter from Ferrum. They dribble through, get a decent, but Colin Flynn's there to scoop that up.
And that was a dangerous through ball intended for Keith Ricks, right in the center of the box. Keith Ricks, the senior out of Arlington, Virginia, but as you said, Sam, Colin Flynn able to scoop that up, no problem.
Very big presence back there. It's great to see him back in the box. Took a little break in the last season, played a little bit of defense as well, but good to see him between the posts again, doing well.
And Flynn having a big name to live up to is Keenan Carroll, one of the most successful goalkeepers in Knights men's soccer history. Graduating last year, Colin Flynn able to learn a lot from him in his time on the sidelines his previous few years, now getting his chance, like you said, Sam, to really shine and fill those big shoes that Keenan's left for him. Like you said, not the tallest goalkeeper in the book, but extremely scrappy, very physical, and very athletic.
Absolutely. He does a very good job of organizing his defense and being that presence, and also having Keenan Carroll as a goalkeeper coach now to help him along the way a little bit.
And it looks like we have a penalty right at the edge of the box. Very dangerous. I almost thought he was giving the penalty kick sign there for a second there, Sam. But it turns out the Knights are going to get away with a direct free kick right on the left corner of the box.
Yeah, this is a very, very dangerous free kick from anyone that's a good shooter. I mean, you just drop this on the far post, it'd be very difficult for Colin Flynn to get to.
We have two players lining up for it. It looks like number 7, Sam May, as well as number 10, Michael Lyons, for the Panthers. We'll see who takes it. Looks like May could be taking it with the left foot, or Lyons with the right. Maybe looking for some sort of trickery. Ref blows the whistle. And it is Lyons taking it, and he puts it straight into the back of the net, goes near post on Colin Flynn, and the Panthers draw first blood against the Knights here. And Only about 10 minutes of play, 35 minutes remaining here in the first half, and the Panthers go up 1-0 on the Knights.
That was an absolutely brilliant free kick. That's a textbook kick, exactly how he needed to place that. Colin Flynn doing a good job setting up his wall, but again, that is a very, very difficult spot to defend.
Absolutely, and when a player has that kind of skill to be able to thread the needle like that, there's not much you can do. Flynn obviously putting his wall to cover that near post. Flynn probably looking to guard the far post. But nonetheless, that was number 10, Michael Lyons, finding a way to still find a little baby hole and go near post on Flynn.
Very well done. Very well done indeed.
And we'll get started right away here once again following that Panthers goal. Knights now down 1-0 against Ferrum College, and they're looking for the quick play. And the Knights really, really trying to find the freshman midfielder Tyson Ricks there in the middle here early in this game.
Yeah, I think one of the problems that the Knights are having is the two strikers up top are a little bit too close to each other, and so sometimes the pass towards one ends up almost being a better pass for the other one, and I think the communication is just not quite there yet. So maybe a little bit more space between the strikers would help them out in the attack and not give up the ball as much. Excellent save by Colin Flynn, coming out and getting on top of that.
Looking for the cross there to number 7, Sam May. Colin Flynn, an absolutely fearless player, whether he's in the goal or he's playing the back line, very, very fearless, and that was key right there as he went into the feet of Sam May, who was looking to take a left-footed shot and put the Panthers up quickly 2-0, which would have been a really tough spot to be in, Sam.
That is very tough, especially this early in the game. You just spend the rest of the game sitting there and trying to get one back, but it just gets demoralizing the longer it goes. So the Knights don't want to go down 2-0 here this early.
Panthers passing the ball up the middle. The Knights regaining possession. That is number 12, Sean Diamond, passing back to Matt Deedy. Back over to Diamond with space on the wing. The Panthers closing the gap, able to regain possession. That is May. And the Knights regaining possession here now. Really, really playing physically, both teams here out on this wing, trying to regain possession. The Knights have it so far. This is Edwin Hernandez with the ball. Passes it back to Weeks, who drops it deep back to Colin Flynn. And the Panthers, as you can see there, playing that high press once again, trying to force Flynn into a mistake. But so far, keeping his head and able to clear the ball out fine. Panthers throwing.
Having a hard time finding someone to throw to. Long throw across the field. Ferrum College doing a pretty good job of keeping it spread out, though. 2 passes get across the field with the space down the wing. Oh, yeah, that'll definitely draw a penalty from the referee. That's a little bit late on the tackle there, having already taken a touch. So
it's a good job by the Knights sealing the middle as of now. With the exception of that free kick goal so far offensively, the Knights being able to deal with Ferrum over the middle pretty handily. Ferrum still pressing, finding some offensive momentum here following that goal. Knights having a hard time getting into their offensive third. Ferrum just playing nice and methodically right now.
Which is that's what you want to see from a team, unfortunately for the Knights, is that controlled passing. Just take their time, find the next pass, keep the space between your players so that you can make that pass. Again, the Knights a little bit hasty on some of their passes, I think, and not quite as spread out as Coach Bohr would hope, but playing well and definitely keeping it a physical battle between both teams.
Knights looking to play the long ball there, and it's Marco Rivera who picks it up and rolls it out to center. Panthers with the ball now, trying to work it up the middle. Passing it out to the wing to number 14, Hector Carrion. Makes a bad pass. Matt Deedy able to get the ball for the Knights, who regain possession, passing it to the midfield. And the Panthers now with space. Moving up the field, looking for the through ball, and that is a great job there by Matt Deedy, Sam, getting a body on that ball as they were looking to find number 7, Sam May, the England native, once again.
He's doing an excellent job of being in that right spot. A lot of defenses just knowing where to be standing so that the pass can't be made. And again, Matt Deedy doing a wonderful job of just getting in the way and causing some problems.
Matt Jones clearing it up the field. The Knights trying to regain possession, playing it off the head there. A little push from the Knights, but no call from the referee. Sam May with the ball now, loses possession. Panthers able to maintain it, passing it towards the middle.
Ooh,
a little through ball to the left side.
Ooh, but a good job by the Knights to push it out a little bit. And the shot goes well over.
That was number 6, Keith Ricks, the senior attacking midfielder for the Panthers, sending that well over the crossbar. And the Knights will have a goal kick. And we will have our first substitution of the game. Checking onto the field for the Knights is number 4, Aaron Terrasas, checking on for Anthony Bowden. Looking to get some fresh legs in there quick. Looks like Bowden actually might be somewhat injured, as we can see. Head trainer here for Southern Virginia University, Chad Mahaffey, over there to help Bowden on the sidelines. Panthers with possession. Knights playing some heavy defense over there on the wing. Panthers electing to switch field, try to find some open space. Crossing it deep over the middle. And that is Deedy able to clear that out with his head.
Excellent job on that. Yeah, the Knights having a tough time, I think. They're doing all right until the ball gets caught up in a wing, and then they all kind of shift over and watch. And I think they need to do a little bit better job of keeping the space so that they can not allow so many free passes from Ferrum. But doing a good job making sure nothing major goes over the top or through the middle. Greg Allen with a good interception there.
Edwin Hernandez looking to play right over the top to Aaron Terrasas, but just short. Panthers regain possession, passing it out to the wing. That's number 26, Jeremy Wilson, putting a foot in there, deflecting the ball out, giving the Knights a little bit of time to make some defensive shifts.
Looks like the Knights have elected to put 4 in the back, doing a pretty good job against Ferrum's attacking. Colin Flynn wraps up the ball there on that. Getting a lot of touches in today.
Allen with the ball now, playing off to the wing. Knights trying to play it up the field there for Aaron Terrasas. Not able to get the first touch he quite wanted, and the Panthers will regain possession here in the midfield. Looking to play quickly, long ball up the middle of the field, looking for the wing. Conflin comes out of the box to clear that.
An excellent job there. He's really, really good at communicating with his players back there. You can hear him yelling that that's his, and he does a really good job of coming out to get those balls when they're just a little bit too far.
Jeremy Wilson slipping there on the field. It is a wet field. Maybe putting a hand up, looking at the ref a little bit, as it looked like number 14 for the Panthers, Hector Carrion, might have pushed him back down a little bit, but wouldn't have changed the play much. Ball was still out of bounds.
Yeah, and the best thing about falling down when it's all rainy is you get a big clump of turf, either in your shoe or in your hair, on your hand, and then you get to carry that with you the rest of the game.
And
now
home.
The players appreciate, and home.
You'll find that turf in your bed, in your laundry.
Sometimes in your food. I actually brought home most of this field last season. Very interesting.
Turf is it's a two-edged sword, Sam.
It is.
Both
Really
a
nice.
blessing and a curse at the same time.
But on wet days, that ball just skips a lot further than you think it's going to.
We have a free kick here for Ferrum College. Sending it deep over the middle, and that is Greg Allen clearing it out there with his right foot over out of bounds. And the Panthers will have a throw-in. Sending one of their defenders up to take care of the throw-in, making sure all their midfielders and forwards are saturating the box there, as the Knights also fill the box up with some defenders and midfielders. And this will be a great opportunity for the Knights to get a counterattack if they can clear it out here quickly and gain possession.
A good initial first touch getting to the ball, but I think the Knights are having a hard time with that second level clear. Looks like we definitely have a little undercut there, it looks like. will have a free kick again. I think number 24, Tyson Ricks, having a little conversation about that play with the referee.
Looks like Ferrum looking to get across there into the box. Able to do so, and then it's Matt Jones able to clear that out for the Knights. Aaron Terrasas clearing it up the field slightly. Panthers regain possession, looking for the chip right over the middle, and senior goalkeeper for the Knights, Colin Flynn, will deal with that.
Looks like both teams so far, with the exception of the one excellent free kick, having a little bit of trouble finding their own team on the initial first touch. Ferrum, both of those last free kicks were directed directly to the Knights, and then the Knights on some of their goal kicks, I think, struggling to find their player on the first touch. But again, the field conditions can contribute to that, but also just knowing the team, communicating where the ball is going also contributes, and I think favors an established program like Ferrum. But doing a good job moving down the wing here, looking to get a cross in, but the Knights stopping that.
And Greg Allen able to deflect that one out as well. Once again, Knights continuing to do a good job locking down the defense in the middle. Anytime the Panthers have tried to go over the middle so far, the Knights have been able to deal with it pretty handily.
As the ball rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. See another one from Colin Flynn here.
Got some good communication coming from the Knights back line as of right now from Matt Deedy, the center back for the Knights, which is absolutely vital, Sam, as you well know, you being a former defender. Communication from that back line is essential.
It absolutely is, because not only do you see everything in front of you, you have the whole field in front of you, but you also get to command it. You get to tell everyone, you know, you got to make that run down the side, and you just have a different vision. And so without that communication, there's definitely some gaps that get hit really easily and some gaps that get missed. But I think Matt Deedy does a pretty good job, especially with Colin Flynn behind him, and making sure that the rest of the team knows where they should be. So it makes a big difference to have a leader on the back line. And the Knights actually have a couple as well, so they benefit greatly from that. Ooh, Greg Allen with some good footwork to get down the line and hopefully get a cross in. Looks like it'll roll out for a goal kick. Unfortunately, a little bit of contact, but not quite enough.
Allen definitely looking for the call there from the referee, which would have been nice. Probably a little too early in the game and a little too close for comfort to be able to call any sort of penalty kick there. Good choice by the ref. But that's the exact situation you're looking for the Knights to get in here, Sam, is get players like Merritt Weeks and Greg Allen up into the attacking third, right now playing a much more of a holding role for the Knights here early, as Ferrum has done put on a little more offensive pressure. But it's moments like that where you see leaders like Merritt Weeks and Greg Allen get into the offensive third where opportunities start to present themselves.
Yeah, absolutely, because there wasn't a whole lot of build-up to that. He just all of a sudden made a good run, beat a couple players, and really had a good opportunity to get a cross in. It didn't pay off, but ooh, I definitely think we'll have a little bit of contact on that one, as both players kind of grasping at each other a little bit. We have number 20, Matthew Jones, I think earning the foul on that one, but I believe that the assistant referee having a conversation with the center about both players, I think, were involved a little bit of extracurricular activity there.
Panthers playing it back to their goalkeeper and swinging it out to the right wing. And the ball cleared out and high over the fence and into the stands.
Into the new stadium.
Yeah, you don't really have that shot here from these camera angles, as the new cameras are on the stadium itself. But you're right, Sam, we do have a new stadium here at the fields at Southern Virginia University. Really, really pretty facility.
It very much is. I'm very excited to play in a football game there tomorrow and, you know, come out of the tunnel or at least be involved in it. It definitely adds a different atmosphere here, and it definitely benefits a lot to be able to put the cameras on it to provide great feed, so everybody benefiting from that. Neither team really able to settle the ball right now. Both of them just kind of kicking it around a little bit. Knights look to make a move, but again ended, and Ooh, an excellent move by Merritt Weeks there. Needs to find a pass.
Weeks switching field there. And the Knights able to get it out there on the wing.
Wow.
Playing it back.
Excellent.
And looking to play back up. Oh, and it's Edwin Hernandez just out of play there across the middle. Had that ball fallen about 5 feet to the right, we might have had a different outcome here on that play.
Pretty good string of passes there from the Knights, though, that resulted in them almost having possession inside the box. Pretty good job.
And the Knights will have their second substitute of the game, as Greg Allen walks off the field for the Knights to catch his breath and probably prepare for the second half. Jackson Farnsworth, the junior out of West Valley, Utah, an Iowa Western Community College transfer, takes the field. Also, Farnsworth, another one of the returning players for the Knights. And coming from a pretty successful community college program there at Iowa Western. Panthers had the throw in. And that is Weeks sending it high up into the air. Terrasas trying to deal with it. And Weeks barely getting beat there on the side. Ferrum looking to cross right over the middle, but that fearlessness in Colin Flynn that we've already seen a couple times this game coming out once again, leaving the box to clear that in the face of potential danger.
He does it. He really does a good job about knowing when to come off of his line and coming out very quickly. Ooh.
And a cheeky shot there by number 7, Sam May for Ferrum College, the freshman out of England, taking the shot with the outside of his right foot, trying to put a little bit of a tricky curve on it, but no problem there for Colin Flynn, as the shot didn't have that much power.
No, it was pretty much right to him. I think his only hope was that it would skip off the ground a little bit, but Colin not having any of that. Another good through ball attempt by the Knights as they put pressure on early, very quickly after the kick from Colin Flynn there.
Pass was pretty well weighted. The Knights will elect to have Aaron Terrasas take the throw-in, who plays back to Merritt Weeks. Crossing over, he is right-footed. If he can get a shot onto his left foot, he takes it for the outside of his right foot. And it's a little too powerful there for Marco Rivera, and the goal as it bounces off of him and deflects to the outside. Had a Knights offensive player been there, that could have been really dangerous, but a great first shot on goal there for the Knights in their opening game here at home. And we have some sort of call from the referee. Marco Rivera confused as to what is going on. I am too, Sam, trying to see what's going on here. But like we said, a great first shot there from Merritt Weeks.
Yeah, really good attempt from the Knights there. I think they did a wonderful job. Looks like the refs having a little conversation here about the call. He may have been.
It looks like they're trying to see if maybe if the ball broke the plane on the end line, maybe looking for a corner kick rather than a goal kick.
Looks like we might be having a drop ball.
And as we mentioned earlier, like we said, the second players, experienced players like Greg Allen, who's now off the field, and Merritt Weeks get into that offensive third. Opportunities present themselves. Merritt able to create his own space there on his own with some good footwork there, and took a really nice shot.
Yeah, absolutely. The returners for the Knights doing a wonderful job of making things happen on every end. I mean, we saw Greg Allen up in the attacking third. We've seen Colin Flynn do a wonderful job in the defensive third, and then Merritt Weeks in the defensive, in the mid, and with a great opportunity there for the first shot for the Knights. And again, the Knights really need that returning presence from their players. So doing a good job of stepping up there with even the few returners that they have. Knights doing a good job of trying to push that ball out of the box. It seems like anytime it gets in, they do put quite a bit of pressure on it. Colin Flynn just maybe a little bit quick on that, slips out of his hands, but again, the Knights there to clear it out quickly.
Nice heads-up play there by Merritt Weeks, the captain for the Knights, able to clear that out on what could have been a Sam May goal, who was waiting to put that in, but Merritt Weeks able to clear it out. Panthers still with the ball, playing quickly down the line, looking for number 17 there. Jordan Gibson for the Panthers, unable to do so. We have another throw-in for Ferrum College. It's Corione out to take the throw in. Weeks able to clear it high and up the middle. Matt Jones fighting off 2 defenders there for Ferrum College, able to clear it back. Terrasas trying to create some space, passing it out to the middle. Over to number 12, Sean Diamond. Now creating his own space.
Excellent string of passes there from the Knights, doing a better job of kind of settling down and letting the play go. Ferrum in turn just going for a long ball, trying to get it over the top. They've had a few of those so far, not really any success, as the Knights back four doing a pretty good job keeping that in front of them or letting it go over the top. May have been a little bit of a push in the back on that long ball there. Ferrum elects to take it quickly and just keep moving.
A good little move there by, I'm not sure exactly who that was for Ferrum College there in the middle, but a good move by Ferrum, able to maintain possession. The Knights clear it out, but the Panthers retake it. Passing it out into space. Corione on the wing with plenty of time, looking for a cross. Elects to pass it back into the middle.
Great string of passes there by Ferrum, doing a really good job to work the ball into the center and then try to get something. You can see that those quick little 1-2 passes are really what an established program wants to see. I think Ferrum doing a pretty good job of trying to get that in, but again, the Knights doing a good job of bunching up and staying in there, not making sure they don't get off any clean shots. Every time they do get one, it seems to be deflected or blocked or anything like that. Looks like a low corner coming in, but immediately lands on a Knight.
And Farnsworth just worried about getting that ball out of trouble and is successful in doing so. Ball rolls out for another Panthers throw-in.
Good battle going on there in the defense.
Farnsworth putting his work in out there on the wing. And that is Terrasas able to intercept that pass across the middle for Ferrum College, although they do maintain possession. And Terrasas there with the good tackle as he's trying to get back up. It is the Panthers who commit the foul, pushing Terrasas back on the ground. And the Knights try to play quickly, but maybe should have waited a little more time to get some offensive players back into their third. But the Knights still with possession, playing for Terrasas. Head back to Tyson Ricks, looking to play over the middle, but pass intercepted by the Panthers. The Knights get the ball back again, and he takes a long shot across the middle and handled pretty easily there by goalkeeper Marco Rivera for Ferrum College.
Some very optimistic play there by the Knights, though. You can see they did a pretty good job, even with some long balls that maybe weren't totally under control, doing a good job to keep the possession, though. And then eventually a pretty optimistic shot from at least 30, 35 yards, but putting it on frame, making sure the keeper is doing his job. So some good optimistic play there from the Knights, but that's kind of what you want to see, is at least taking shots and working the ball in.
Knights with possession in the middle. Looking to pass back into the middle. The Panthers intercept. Moving down the field. As that Knights back line maintaining their line pretty well. Able to shift back as the Knights are putting pressure on the midfield there for Ferrum College. It's Corione now with the ball. Terrasas diving that foot in there, trying to get the Panthers to turn the ball over. In a one-on-one situation here for Ferrum College, and that is number 6, Keith Ricks, with the easy goal against Colin Flynn. It was one-on-one, and all he had to do was pick the wide-open far post as the Knights' defense for the first time this game, Sam, breaks down. And following that initial free kick goal by Ferrum College, the Panthers go up 2-0 on Southern Virginia University.
Yeah, it looked like that ball may have taken a little skip or a little bit of spin on the turf there, and I think the defender kind of misread it, and it just got behind him real quick. And after that, there's no way to pick up that quick. And Ferrum able to capitalize on that. A little bit of a unfortunate bounce there for the Knights, but again, doing a pretty good job so far, the back four, of making sure nothing does get through, but very difficult to play in these conditions, and so the Knights unfortunately giving one up there.
And it seemed like it would only be a matter of time for the senior Virginia native, Keith Ricks, for the Panthers, as he's been creating a lot of trouble, especially mostly in the middle for Ferrum College thus far in this game, now marking his first goal, presumably of the season. Second of the game for Ferrum College, and the Knights looking to play some really quick offense here following the restart. 12.5 minutes remaining here in the first half of play, as the Knights looking to draw their first blood of the game, gain a goal back, which would be huge going into halftime.
Yeah, and you can see after each time they've given something up, the Knights do bounce back very quickly. You can see they like to push up on a counterattack or on kickoff almost immediately. They push up quite a bit. And I think that's Coach Boer making sure that his players don't get mentally down. I mean, you get scored on in soccer, and that's fine. That happens, but it's how they rebound. And I think the Knights doing a pretty good job of making sure that the goal doesn't last that long and that they have to keep earning the next one. So that's what you want to see, is the Knights just rebound and get quickly up the field.
And that foul will go against the Knights. That's number 29, Elijah Mendoza, extending the hands there and getting a little push off. Ferrum sending it high over the middle. Merritt Weeks clearing it with his head. Aaron Terrasas fighting off defenders, creates a little bit of space there. Some pretty good footwork there over the middle for the Knights.
Doing a good job recognizing to try to move the ball into the middle. Obviously, attacking down the side is good, but the Knights trying to move into the middle so that they can have either side.
Matt Jones looking for the pass across the middle, unable to get it. Sam May tapping it to the outside, looking to get a space around the outside, and that is Matt Deedy sticking him and able to regain possession there for the Knights.
Excellent defensive stop there by the Knights. That's really smart, because the outside wing was definitely beat down the line, so Matt Deedy coming out from the center, doing a good job of just stopping the play immediately and coming out with possession as well, which is exactly what you want from a center back there. That was very well played.
Knights getting one of their first free kick opportunities of this game in what could potentially be a dangerous spot, not electing to go high over the middle for a cross. Probably smarter, as the Panthers do have the height advantage here. A little harder to score on set pieces off the head, if you will.
Absolutely.
But the Panthers now taking a shot. That was number 29 for the Panthers, Chachi Mize.
Yeah, I think that was, again, a bit optimistic from that far out. He had plenty of time to dribble, could have taken it much further in, really only had one defender there, but elected not to try to make any quick moves or anything, but to instead just shoot it from that far out. But again, placed it well wide, no problem for the Knights there.
Flynn playing it out wide to Merritt Weeks. Merritt able to put some good moves on Mize, create some space for himself, passes it off to Didi, who plays it long over the middle. And it will roll well out of bounds. Panthers throw in. And I'm surprised the referee didn't blow a little whistle there, as it looked like the Panthers might have gained close to 20 yards on that throw-in.
It really is a good tactic, and it's unfortunate that some players are really good at it, some players aren't. But I'm very surprised as well the ref didn't call that one back, as he worked his way up the line, faked the throw-in, and then faked again, and then
gained
again,
a couple more yards.
And 20 yards later, you take the throw-in, and now your throw-in's gone 60 yards instead of 40 or 20.
The Knights looking to create some offense there close to the Ferrum College box, but Ferrum also doing a pretty good job at saturating the middle of the box and forcing the Knights back out. And you wonder if maybe the Knights Sam would have a little more success trying to play from the wings and crossing in. You never know, but Ferrum doing a pretty good job right now of closing down the center of their defensive third.
Yeah, it seems like the Knights are having trouble connecting between the lines. What we'll see either is a really good solo run to get into the next third of the field, or a long pass that skips one. And I think what the Knights need to do is just kind of settle down and connect from the defense to the mid to the strikers. We haven't seen a whole ton of that yet, and I think that's where Ferrum's benefiting, even in counterattacks as well. Ooh, another long-range shot trying to beat Colin Flynn there, but
I believe that was number 10 for the Panthers, Michael Lyons, the sophomore out of New Jersey. And that goes well right of the goal. The Knights will have another goal kick. 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Actually, 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. It looks like we might be having a little bit of technical difficulty here on our broadcast. But according to the live scoreboard on the field, we have about 7.5 minutes remaining. Panthers trying to play over the middle. That's Mize, and the assistant referee flag goes up for offside. And that will be the Panthers' first offside of the game as the Knights look to play extremely quickly following the offside call. Over the middle to Aaron Terrasas for the Knights. Plays back out.
Again, the Knights a little bit clustered here, a little bit bunched up, and it creates some gaps that I think Ferrum's doing a pretty good job of finding so far, as their players are a little bit more spread out. But with such a new team from the Knights, I think they're actually doing quite a good job of playing their position and making sure that everybody else can play theirs. Excellent job in defense so far to have the center backs come out at just the right time, or the goalie come off the line. Really doing a pretty good job to not let anything easy through.
Knights fighting for possession once again. Elijah Mendoza on the wing playing up. The ball will be deflected off of Ferrum College, and the Knights will have a throw-in as Southern Virginia University prepares to have 3 subs, it looks like, come onto the field. Ferrum College will have 2. And the Knights looking for a final push here in the last just under 6 minutes of play here in the first half, trying to gain a goal back. As we mentioned earlier, Sam, that would be huge for the Knights to be able to go into halftime down 2-1 rather than 2-0. Heck, if they could even put in 2, I mean, that would be the absolute dream, go into halftime tied. But we can at least ask for 1, I think,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. The momentum does quite a bit for a team. And I think as the Knights really haven't had that many attacking opportunities so far, I think a goal would really go a long way for them.
Merritt Weeks creating some space for himself, able to get well across midfield, almost by himself on this run, looking up the wing, deflected off the Knights' foot into the box, and Ferrum College will just clear that one out as the Knights gain some momentum there in their own offensive third. The throw-in comes from Southern Virginia University.
And again, we see the attacking presence of the Knights coming from a solo run or coming over the top. Merritt Weeks, again, a returner for the Knights, knows how the team works, knows how the field works, doing a good job of trying to just work the ball up. But Knights looking to string some more passes together is probably what their halftime speech is going to be about.
And the Knights need to be careful there in their offensive third as they're trying to gain possession and create opportunities, not to get overly physical as they give up a penalty right there, or a foul rather, and Ferrum will have the opportunity to clear the ball well out of their own defensive third. So the Knights giving up offensive opportunities by giving up those kinds of fouls.
Yeah, again, you do want to see a physical game. The Knights definitely a physical team, doing a good job of sticking on the defender, but you do have to be careful about it, and sometimes the hands or the feet can draw the attention of the referee, which they have done on that far sideline quite a few times.
The Panthers looking for the counter. Merritt Weeks once again in the right place at the right time, able to put some pressure there on the Panthers. Ball plays up and long, and it will go off of the end line for another Knights goal kick. Flynn indicating to his defenders to push up the field, looking for somewhat of an offensive push or shift for the Knights to try to create some opportunities. Sean Diamond with the throw-in back to Merritt Weeks. Weeks gives up the ball in the pass, but the Knights able to regain possession as The Knights midfielder is pushed down by the Panthers. Merritt Weeks playing it long and over the middle. Panthers clear it back immediately. Sean Diamond across the middle. Knights playing up the field. And we have an opportunity here on the left wing as the offside flag goes up from the assistant referee, just offside for the Knights on what would have been probably one of the better opportunities, if not the best opportunity of the game for the Knights to get a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. He had great vision down that wing to try to find the runner. That's what you want to see from a center back, especially. Good job looking up the field. Sometimes those center backs, they'll get the ball and just kind of look really close, and that's good to try to just get to the next level. But again, the Knights definitely looking to try to get over the top and find the third level rather than play through the middle, and that was a good job to try to find that pass there. Unfortunately, just a little bit ahead of the defender, drew the offsides flag, but excellent job by the Knights.
Farnsworth dealing with two Ferrum players there on the wing as Ferrum regains possession. The little chip shot right over the middle, which would have been dangerous there for number 16 on Ferrum, Adam Smith, the junior out of Leesburg, Virginia, who makes obvious contact with Colin Flynn, and it looked definitely careless. I believe a very simple yellow card call there for the referee as the Ferrum midfielder argues it somewhat, but late contact there, Sam.
Yeah,
no question.
He's not going to have much of an argument there. You can't run into the goalie on plays like that. He had obvious possession. There's not really a whole lot to argue there. I mean, there's always going to be words, but there's not a whole lot to say. It was clear contact. The goalie was in possession already, and there was still enough contact to push the goalie to the ground. That's a card-worthy offense. Excellent job by the referee.
The referee also having some words with number 11, Merritt Weeks. I'm not sure if Weeks maybe had some words with Adam Smith from Ferrum College following the contact with Flynn. But the referee so far doing a really good job at maintaining control of this game, something that's hard to do, especially at this level of play when things become much more competitive and physical. So kudos to the referee, the head
Looks
ref.
like we have our second card of the game very quickly after the first one.
And I'm not sure exactly who that went against. I didn't catch the number there for the Knights.
Yeah, another late tackle on that, though. It looked like could have been number 29. Elijah Mendoza was in on the play, but I'm not sure. It looked like that's who received the card, but he had already walked away by the time the referee showed the yellow. So I think he knew, though, that he had come in a little bit late on the ankles of the Ferrum player there. So again, just electing to take the card and go back into the defense to prepare for the free kick.
Our head referee showing very quickly here in the first half of this game that over physicality will not be dealt with and will be punished handily, which should be good, especially when teams at this level tend to get more and more physical by the minute later into the game, especially when one team's ahead, when one team's down. Great control there by the head referee. Ball played high and over the middle off the head of Merritt Weeks. Farnsworth deflects it. Ferrum College battling forward over the middle, able to do so. That's number 21 for the Knights. Jackson Lindo, the freshman out of Huntsville, Alabama, able to regain possession for the Knights as Merritt Weeks plays it long over the middle. And the Panthers now regain possession as both teams really trying to find each other. The long shot there.
Looks like as we get into the last 40 seconds of the half here, both teams just trying to get the ball down quickly, try to get something on frame. I think Ferrum really benefiting from just trying to take a corner on that one as they swing the ball into the box. But again, the Knights first to the ball, as they usually have been, doing a pretty good job to get to that ball first and push it out quickly.
Deflected off the head of Matt Deedy and then deflected out of bounds by Christian Rice, the junior here out of Buena Vista, Virginia.
I think both teams electing to just let the clock run out with the last 5 seconds here.
And the final deflection out of bounds for the Knights as our first half comes to an end. The Knights trailing the Panthers of Ferrum College 2-0. After a little bit of a recap, we had an initial goal by Ferrum College's, I believe, number 10, Michael Lyons, with the beautiful, beautiful free kick just outside of the box. He went near post against Colin Flynn, the goalkeeper for the Knights. Lyons, the sophomore out of New Jersey. Like I said, beautiful goal, went up 1-0. And then our second goal by number 6, Keith Ricks for the Panthers.
Yeah, and a little bit unfortunate for the Knights on that defensive one, but really doing a good job, especially getting to the ball first. I think Coach Boer is going to have a few things to correct as far as spacing on the field and connecting passes, but really this, I mean, fairly brand new team for the Knights doing a good job of finding each other and communicating. So I think second half will bring some interesting things. We'll see what Coach Boer wants to change, and we'll see if any tactical changes happen. But really a good job so far from the Knights. Very physical game, definitely. 2 cards quickly at the end of the half there, but good half from both teams, I'd say.
Sure, absolutely. And the Knights using a lot more subs here in the first half, Sam, than Ferrum College, which is interesting considering the fact that Ferrum College's roster much bigger than the Knights. So you wonder if maybe Ferrum is just trying to develop a lot of young players that they travel with, or if maybe they're saving a lot of their fresh legs for the very end of the game to make a final push and try to put in a lot of goals at the end. That's a question that stands to be answered here in the second half. But as we mentioned, first half coming to an end. Knights down 2-0 against the Panthers of Ferrum College. Knights showing some definite promise on the offensive side, like you said. Coach Boer looking to make some adjustments here at halftime, and the Knights will look to come out and put themselves right back into this game. But we have about 15 minutes left in this halftime. We'll come back to you here at the fields at Southern Virginia University. Stay tuned with us, and thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Night Field at the Fields at Southern Virginia University as we prepare for the second half of play and your men's soccer home opener against the Panthers of Ferrum College here in Buena Vista, Virginia. 65 degrees and rainy as we get some of the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, but not a hurricane by any stretch of the imagination here. More like a mist, but still kind of cold and dreary. And the Knights looking to get themselves back into this game, down 2-0, following some really good goals there by Ferrum College in the first half, especially from number 10, Michael Lyons, off that first free kick about 10 minutes into the game. And then a small lapse in defensive positioning by the Knights as Keith Ricks for the Panthers puts in the second goal of the game. What are we looking for the Knights here, Sam? Look in the second half. What are we looking to improve on to get themselves back into this game?
Well, aside from being completely wet all the time, is mostly what we're going to be looking for. I think they need to control their spacing a little bit more. You can see already we have about 4 players within about 5 yards. That's not exactly what you want to see. I mean, I know that's early. It was just an example, but they had a hard time, I think, spreading out, covering the whole field. They didn't really. You saw Ferrum had quite a few switches across the field throughout the game, and the Knights did a good job of covering it, but not a brilliant job of being able to do the same on their own side. So you can see already we like to have this close player right at the end line on the football field. You can see about the 20-yard line. You like to see that space from the Knights. You can see they have a big shape going on. So doing a much better job. I think that's something they struggled with in the first half, and then just connecting from one level to the next. Did a good job defending. Did a good job, attacking for the most part, but then connecting between the three of them, I think, is an area that they struggled just a little bit. So I think Coach Board talked to him a little bit at halftime about that, and I'm sure that they'll just kind of settle down. But again, this is their real home opener. It's a brand new team. They've only been together a couple of weeks with a new head coach. So really great adjustments by the Knights, but looking for some more from the second half from them.
So going over some first half stats here as we kick off the second half of play here at the Fields. Shots pretty lopsided. Ferrum with 8 shots total, 4 of them on goal here in the first half of play. The Knights with only 2 shots total, 1 of them on goal. That one on goal by Merritt Weeks with a pretty dangerous shot towards the center of the box. He crossed over with his right foot and took a shot with all that he could. And that was saved there by Marco Rivera, the goalkeeper for the Panthers. Ferrum with 3 corner kicks in the first half. The Knights haven't been able to notch one yet. And then the Knights leading in the foul section a little bit. 8 fouls in the first half to Ferrum's 5. And 2 yellow cards coming very quickly, as we mentioned earlier, Sam. At the end of the first half, the first one against Ferrum College on a little contact with the goalkeeper, and then the second one on Elijah Mendoza for the Knights.
Those cards within 7 seconds of each other, so very, very quick one after the other. But again, the Knights doing a good job of making sure that Ferrum has to earn their possessions and has to earn everything. So while the foul count is a little bit higher for the Knights, that's just to keep Ferrum on edge, I'm sure.
Matt Deedy, the center back for the Knights, with the ball, swinging it out to number 29, Elijah Mendoza, up the field quickly to number 7, Anthony Bowden, also known as Kobe Bowden. I'm not sure if you would rather prefer us call him Kobe or not. We'll go with the roster and call him Anthony for the time being till we hear otherwise. Elijah Mendoza with the throw-in for the Knights, back to the feet of number 8, Greg Allen, who crosses well over the middle. Ferrum able to deal with that pretty handily with the header, and Ferrum College now with the ball, playing long to the right side to number 7, Sam May from England.
Oh, wow. A good move there to get the cross in. Finds someone right in the center and puts it in the back of the net.
And just an absolutely beautiful goal there from Ferrum College. Not much you could do about that. And that was by, I believe, by number 29, who came in late in the first half for the Panthers, Chachi Mize, the freshman out of Thailand, who is able to notch, presumably, his first goal of the season, 3rd for Ferrum College. And really, the lapse in defense right there, Sam, coming on that dive there against Sam May on the wing, giving him all kinds of space to make a really easy cross right to the feet of Chachi Mize, who got to give him credit for the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. He was basically unmarked, but still did a really good job of putting one in past Colin Flynn. That's a difficult one for any goalie, but again, made a really good cross and then a wonderful finish on the end there by Mize. But again, the Knights just they did pretty well in the first half with marking up, but I think in their efforts this half to probably get a little more attack, they've they've spread out their defense a little bit, and I think Ferrum may have taken advantage of that on that one. A little bit of unfortunate slip on the defensive end, and then that resulted in a great cross. But again, Ferrum capitalizing early in the second half.
And surprisingly enough, Sam May, the England native for Ferrum College, with not even a shot on goal during the first half. And so on paper, you'd almost not see much of an influence from him, but he's been creating problems against the Knights' defensive back line the entire game so far, creating space, getting in some good crosses that haven't fallen in until now. But he's able to get his first assist of the season and of this game.
Yeah, and you can see Ferrum definitely starting to get a little bit more comfortable. You see a little bit of fancy footwork there from some of their players, a little bit of extra dribbling, trying to get across the field. I think the Knights need to step up and try to shut that down a little bit earlier, but a third goal definitely gives the team a lot of confidence. Ooh, a little bit of a jersey pull there against Greg Allen, but
Greg Allen with a through ball up to Tyson Ricks. Oh, and makes contact with the goalie there for Ferrum College, who seems to be injured. Time will be stopped, and it looked like as Tyson Ricks went in to maybe stick that foot out to try to get a deflection off of the goalkeeper, get a last shot, the foot might have connected with what looks like the chest or rib cage of Marco Rivera for Ferrum College. Might have just had the wind knocked out of him as he's sticking his arms out, and the trainers will take the field. Never want to see a player go down or get injured, Sam. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, especially not a goalie, and on a day like today where it is a little bit chilly, if they were to put on a second goalie, it would be really tough for him to warm up this late in the game and step into this role. So definitely not what you want to see if you're Ferrum College right now.
But exactly what you want to see from Southern Virginia University as Greg Allen takes his time and puts a nearly perfectly weighted pass right to the feet of Tyson Ricks. Put a little too much on it, but that's exactly what the Knights want to see, as Tyson Ricks was almost in a position to just take a quick cross with his left foot and then have a wide open goal to just tap it in on.
Yeah, and maybe on a day where the ball didn't skip as much, that actually would have been a pretty good ball. So really very well played by the Knights, but on a day like today, it's very difficult to counter for the extra skip on the field, and I think that was a result in the ball being just a little bit ahead and the minor collision with the ball into the goalie's chest. But Ferrum College electing to just play it now. Looks like the goalie is just kind of out of breath maybe, and now back in the game.
Good to see Marco Rivera back on his feet for Ferrum College, and play will resume here. The Panthers with possession. The Knights pressuring immediately, looking to get possession back. A lot of head play. The Knights clear it high over the middle to the feet of Ferrum, who plays it high over the heads of the back line of Southern Virginia University, looking for Sam May once again on the right wing, and that is Sean Diamond for the Knights clearing it out. May out for the throw-in. May throws to the feet of his teammate, who isn't able to get quite the touch that he wanted, and it rolls out for a Knights goal kick.
Definitely the touch that Colin Flynn wanted on that, though. Harmlessly rolls out.
Flynn playing it on the ground and wide to Captain Merritt Weeks for the Knights, who plays it long down the left sideline, looking for number 4, Tyson Ricks, who slides, looks like might have collided feet with the Ferrum defender. We'll see if any sort of card comes out from the referee. No card will come out for the referee, as it looked maybe a little reckless, but not necessarily careless. The referee having a word with the right back. I believe that is number 24, Graham Holly, the junior out of Roanoke, Virginia, for Ferrum College. And Ricks being checked on by head trainer Chad Mahaffey for the Knights as he slides, and with the slickness of the field, slid pretty far and actually into the fence. Looked like his head might have collided with the fence there, Sam.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. I definitely heard the fence, so that's definitely not what you want to see there, especially he was head first. And I believe that's what made contact first, but I think just receiving a warning there, number 24, Graham Holly. But again, the conditions of the field really do affect the play greatly on days like today. Everything's just absolutely soaked, and so a little bit of just a little slide turns into exactly that, where you end up sliding all the way into the fence.
Rick seems to be okay, and the Knights will have a free kick here over the middle off of the head of the defender for Ferrum College. Anthony Bowden looking to regain possession And Ferrum College now on the counterattack. That is Sam May alone right now on the right wing by himself with numbers Chachi Mize right across the middle and right to the feet of Chachi Mize again, who sends it sailing just over the crossbar. But that is an impressive cross once again from Sam May, who has been absolutely laser accurate so far here in the beginning of the second half. Dangerous offensive possession and counterattack there for the Panthers.
Absolutely. That was almost identical to the last goal that Ferrum scored. That was almost the same play, just a little bit further back and a little bit more rushed because of the counter, but very dangerous from Ferrum. I think they were going to try to take advantage of that. Sam May causing some problems for the Knights down the sideline, and I don't think that'll stop being part of Ferrum's attack in the next little while. So the Knights may need to adjust on that left side. Again, just caught off a little bit there, I think, with the foul, and everybody kind of slows down a little bit, but the Knights need to recover quickly on those type of counterattacks that Ferrum definitely is favoring so far.
The Panthers with possession in the middle, swinging it out to the left wing, creating space for themselves, looking to cross over the middle, drops it back out. The Knights able to gain possession once again. Trying to do a little fancy footwork there as Ferrum will regain possession. Now the Knights battling for it. Out to the wing once again, Sam May by himself. And the Knights clearing that out of danger as they would do anything to make sure Sam May didn't have another one of his crossing opportunities, but has chances again as the Panthers. Ooh, with another dangerous shot. The Panthers went really quickly on that throw into Sam May and caught the Knights off guard. It looked like you had a wide open cross and a header, and luckily the ball was headed straight into the ground and bounced up in the air, and the Knights were able to clear it, but another dangerous cross there by Sam May.
Yeah, absolutely. The Knights really doing a good job of getting back on the end. I think a late slide tackle here, but the Knights definitely falling under pressure a little bit as we have a card on number 4, Anthony Terrazas. Definitely really late on that slide tackle. That was not a great idea there to go in that late. Knights, I think, getting a little bit too physical after some other frustrations are coming out.
Easy call for the referee. Can't say it enough. The referee's job is keep the player safe, and he's doing a great job of that so far here, Sam. Really high physicality mixed with the conditions of the field can make for some gnarly injuries here. The head referee doing a great job at controlling the game thus far. High cross over the middle for Ferrum College, goes too far and bounces outside of the end line, and we will have another Knights goal kick.
Yeah, and I think the Knights really need to start taking advantage of these. They do like to play this short, but then the next ball usually is just, well, fairly long and not directly to anybody in particular. So I think the Knights could use those goal kicks just a little bit better. Doing a good job of getting it upfield, but they need to find someone upfield, not just play that hopeful ball.
Oh, Panthers with a nice move there as they look to take that left-footed shot. Another shot goes in. Colin Flynn able to deal with that. Another shot on goal for Ferrum College. That's Colin giving the signal with his hand to just calm down and keep their heads. Able to make a great save there and clear that out over the middle as Ferrum pressing once again in their offensive third.
Yeah, and that's why leaders like Colin Flynn are so crucial for the team. The only senior on the team this year, and he definitely needs to take that role in letting us. Oh, another great through ball. Oh, just barely wide there. But again, very dangerous attack from the Ferrum College there.
It might have been the first time this game where Colin Flynn's fearlessness and coming way out of the box might have come back to bite him in the end, but got lucky there, and that ball goes just wide left of the post. And probably a good little reality check there for Flynn to maybe realize that you can't always come that far out of the box, but will probably be checking himself a little bit more before he decides to come that far out. The Knights get away with one there.
Yeah, that was a quick through ball, and I don't think he was quite ready to make that sprint off the line yet, so he may have been caught off a little bit.
And some beautiful play there from Ferrum College in the middle. One of the first times they've been successful playing in the middle with some beautiful, almost tiki-taka-like passing.
Very
really
similar.
reminiscent of Barcelona right there in the middle, as they just had some beautiful two-man wall passing going on. And unfortunately enough, it was the shot by number 12. I'm going to butcher this, Sam. I'm sorry. Dijiandaha?
Dijiendaha, I believe.
Dijiendaha. Yeah, that sounds
have.
right. I'm really sorry to Ferrum College or any parents watching the feed. That is a tough name. But number 12 for Ferrum College, a sophomore out of Richmond, Virginia, with the unlucky shot, but lucky for the Knights.
Yes,
Good save
absolutely.
by Colin Flynn, able to handle that.
Yeah, I think the Knights may have struggled as much as we did on the pronunciation on that one. So an excellent job, though, countering. And I think the Ferrum really did a good job of getting the ball into the middle. That's basically what the Knights are trying to do. They've had success in past years of doing that, but I think they're struggling to string together those passes. But if they want a good example to look to, that was exactly right. Aside from the shot at the end, I don't think was quite as difficult as they would have liked, but the string of passes that led to it were absolutely wonderful. So, I mean, that's almost the best compliment you could get if you're comparing anyone to Barcelona, even with their loss of Neymar.
Unfortunate, as a Barcelona fan myself. Knights battling for possession here in the middle of the field once again. Ferrum College able to come away with it, creating space, looking for the through ball. Matt Deedy able to handle that pretty easily. Merritt Weeks trying to stick a leg out there and regain possession. He does. Crosses over with that left foot, clears it out with his left. Headed off by the Panthers, back to the feet of Matt Deedy, who tries to drop back and is unable to do so. And the Knights get away with another one there, as it looked like maybe the slickness of the ball probably placed his foot just barely wrong. What normally would have been an easy drop back to the keeper turned into potential travesty there. It was almost bad, but the Knights able to get away with another one there and come away with a goal kick.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that one didn't end up in the back of the net. That was just an unfortunate coincidence of the ball and the field and everything factoring in, but it's really a good pass most of the time, but on conditions like today, it is just the level of difficulty goes up for those type of passes. The risk factor is just there, and so Colin Flynn trying to come out quickly and counter for it, but was expecting the ball to be a lot closer to him. And really, they did a good job of making sure it didn't end up in the back of the net, but a little bit lucky there by the Knights, I think.
Ferrum College swinging it around the defensive line to the left side of the field. Playing up the field quickly to number 16, Adam Smith. Across the middle, Knights able to deal with that. Playing up the field just a little long intended for number 24, Tyson Ricks. And we will have a throw-in and substitution. We will have two substitutions here for Ferrum College, with 30 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the second half. Number 9, Oliver Flood, the junior out of Roanoke, Virginia, and number 17, Jordan Gibson, the junior out of Smithfield, Virginia.
And it looks like now Ferrum College is starting to bring on a few of their bench players with a fairly comfortable 3-0 lead. I think their coach is willing to try a few new players that maybe not get as much time on the field, and so with a 3-0 lead like that, it is a little bit more comforting for a coach to try out some new talent. So that may be a continuing trend for the next 30 minutes for Ferrum. But the Knights again looking to attack, doing a pretty good job. Looks like they have shifted their formation a little bit, so it's slightly more defensive. You can see 5 defenders in the back making a pretty good little curve through, and really starting to shut things down, as I think they may have struggled for the first few minutes, first 5 or 10, but now they're starting to settle down and realize their position with maybe a new formation as well. So doing a pretty good job to settle down there.
Aaron Taras is clearing it back out to the sideline. The Knights looking to create some offensive opportunities here for themselves, but give up possession, and Ferrum looking for the long ball and the quick counter. And that will be an easy call there for the referee. Foul against, I believe, number 6 for the Panthers, Keith Ricks, who has scored 1 goal here in this game, grabbing the jersey and around the waist there of Matt Deedy.
Yeah, one of the favorite moves of a striker I'm well familiar with. Just run him in a circle, spin around a little bit, and then hopefully the ref doesn't notice.
Another shot on goal there for Ferrum College. Not much of a problem, not much power, and right at the feet of Colin Flynn, able to deal with that easily. But Ferrum still maintaining possession even when the Knights clearing it out, but now regain possession. You can see the Knights playing a little bit of high pressure there. Number 30, Ben Knappmeyer, the junior out of Hebron, Kentucky, coming up for the Knights. And the Knights with an opportunity here, electing to drop back instead of play it forward, switching field over to Aaron Terrasas, who has plenty of time, and Knights making runs across the middle, looking for the head of number 20, Matt Jones. And Greg Allen stepping over and taking the shot, deflected by Ferrum College, number 10, Michael Lyons.
That's a great possession by the Knights, though. It's really good to see them kind of settle down, and instead of just attacking and going over the top, they did take that time, switch field, get it out to the other side, and it results in a shot. It wasn't a free shot. Ferrum obviously trying to prevent that through their defense, but really a good shot nonetheless. I mean, had that have just gone a little bit higher, I'm sure it would have at least been close to the frame. So Greg Allen getting a good setup, fighting for the ball, but then coming back and getting a good shot. So good job by the Knights there.
So Ferrum College now with the substitution, and this is for sure number 12, Ha DG Indaha. I'm not sure who we were talking about earlier, but it was not him who had the shot on goal earlier on the really nice passing. But now Ha DG Indaha is in the game.
As it goes out for another throw-in.
This is number 16, Adam Smith, taking the throw-in for Ferrum College. Greg Allen intercepting, passing back. Knights giving up possession once again. And the Panthers possibly looking for a foul just inside the box, not going to get it. Aaron Terrasas clearing it out with his right foot. Back to Ferrum College, who passes it out to the wing. Makes a quick little step up. Really good play here. Sam May with another cross into the box, deflected off of the Knights defender.
Still plenty of players in, though. Oh, and good job by Colin Flynn to just end that. Pretty good attack by Ferrum there. Just reminding his team they gotta take it easy, slow down a little bit. It seemed like the Knights were getting a little bit aggressive on some of those plays leading up to the eventual cross in, but I think sometimes when the players do get aggressive like that, and I think a little bit chippy, sometimes it can result in getting beat like that. So again, the Knights trying to listen to their leader, Colin Flynn, back there, and just calm down, take it easy. Looks like we have a pretty good solo run here, finding on the wing.
Aaron Terrasas looking to cross over the middle to Tyson Ricks for the Knights. Crossing over, Greg Allen looking to take a shot. And it's number 30, Ben Knappmeyer, who comes up with the left foot, takes a shot, deflected off of Ferrum College, and the Knights will have what looks like their first corner kick of the game, which will be taken by number 26, Jeremy Wilson. But the Knights now creating some offensive chances here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we hope to see something drawn up by the Knights, as they don't have the greatest height advantage. But hopefully they can draw something up here. It looks like they have, as they're clearly stacking. This is definitely a practice field play going on here, so hopefully it results well as the cross comes in.
Oh, and almost off the head of Matt Deedy, and almost off of the head of the Ferrum College defender, number 15, Moore DeLue, which almost goes into the back of net for an own goal. Marco Rivera with the really heads-up play, knocking that out of harm's way for Ferrum College. But the Knights, great job on the corner kick, almost off the head of Matt Deedy, but creating some haste and some pressure there in the offensive third.
Absolutely. That's a great job by the Knights, recognizing that they probably don't have the greatest height advantage. I think most of the Ferrum College players are definitely taller than the Knights, but taking advantage of that by drawing something up. and causing a little bit of chaos. It almost resulted in an own goal, which still counts for as many points as a regular goal. So again, the Knights doing a good job to keep Ferrum on their toes a little bit and make them earn it.
The Knights playing some really, really stout, high-pressure offense here as they're able to gain some pretty commanding possession as of now. The ball played back to Colin Flynn, who clears it well over the middle of the field. Ferrum playing up the field now. To the feet of number 6, Keith Ricks. And the offside call. You could see the hand of Matt Deedy, the center back for the Knights, go up pretty easily. Must have been a pretty easy call there for the assistant referee, as number 17, Jordan Gibson, lurking right there in the center of the box for the Panthers. And what would have been a goal had the assistant referee, not thrown up that flag, but offside call in favor of the Knights.
The Knights doing a good job of pushing up that line really quick. That's something that's very difficult with a new team, to make sure everybody's ahead so that you can get that offside call. So that's a good disciplined play from the Knights there, and that's exactly what you want to see from especially a young team like the Knights, mostly freshmen and underclassmen, but a good job to keep their defense organized there.
Jeremy Wilson looking to take the shot with his left foot, deflected off of the defender for Ferrum College. Christian Rice deflecting that ball. Ferrum College really trying to maintain possession. Tyson Ricks to the feet of Greg Allen, who takes a shot right into the hands of Marco Rivera, who handles that pretty easily. We saw number 30, Ben Knapmeyer, making a run at the far back post. And you wonder if maybe Allen had gone for the cross, that the Knights might have ended up with the goal there. But nonetheless, good job putting the shot on frame. And good save there by Marco Rivera.
Absolutely. That's definitely what we need to see from the Knights coming forward. Greg Allen having a pretty good amount of time there to get something off or find a cross, but again, a little bit unfortunate on the placement, but a good job by the Knights to keep that pressure on.
Junior Jackson Farnsworth takes the field for the Knights from West Valley, Utah. And the Knights here within the last 5 to 6 minutes of play, Sam, showing a lot more offensive pressure against Ferrum College.
Yeah, I think they've started to really kind of figure out their positions. They've settled down a little bit. They kind of still have a few of these little things in the defense to work out. But again, as far as the pressure from the front, they're doing really well to I think some of the things they lacked in the first half, as far as stringing together passes and finding the right place and letting their defense build the attack, they've really picked up here in the second half. The strikers in particular and midfielders have done a good job of keeping the ball in front of them and then reacting to whatever Ferrum presents at them. So doing a much better job in the second half, in particular in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Knights out for a throw, and that is Elijah Mendoza on the throw over to Ben Knapmeyer, back to Mendoza. Over the middle to number 10, Jackson Farnsworth, back to Deedy, and back to Flynn. Back over to Deedy for the Knights, crossing well over the field to Captain Merritt Weeks. Knights up the right wing, good move to create some space. Switching field, looking for number 4, Aaron Terrazas, who plays back, drops, and the Knights playing some nice methodical soccer here.
This is brilliant play from the Knights. You can see even just passing back and forth really between 2 or 3 of the same guys. Look how it's just opened up the field for them. They've made it almost all the way up to half, and they've really had no danger. Ferrum basically just running around at this point. They're stringing together 8, 9, 10 passes. They've switched the field. They've switched back. Now they have a pretty good attack as they seem to draw a foul from about 35 yards out. But again, a brilliant string of passes there by the Knights all over the field to result in a fairly dangerous free kick.
The ball would be taken just inside of the 25-yard line if you're looking at the football field. Like you said, Sam, just right at about 35 yards out. And it looks like number 26, Jeremy Wilson, the freshman out of Saratoga Springs, Utah, will be taking the free kick. We'll see if he tries to put one on goal or send it over the middle on a cross. And looks like he's going to go for frame, but sends it well over the crossbar. And that will go out for a Ferrum College goal kick, as we have a substitution for the Knights coming in. Number 7, Anthony Bowden for the Knights. Just under 20 minutes left here to play in the second half. 19 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Marco Rivera takes the goal kick. 50-51 by Ferrum College, but the Knights come away with possession here. And it looks like Didi might be cramping up there as he's laying on the ground, pulling on his feet, stretching out those calves and hamstrings. You see him run limping down the field a little bit and hopping.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of cramping going on. Cold weather contributing to that. Being so warm in the muscles, but a little bit chilly outside. Maybe some hydration issues as well, but definitely can lead to some cramping.
Ferrum College with the cross well over the middle, looking to switch field a little bit. The Knights able to get a foot on it. Anthony Bowden fighting for possession there. Gets on the inside of the offensive player for Ferrum College. Mendoza over to Didi. Didi with some space as the Panthers retreat a little bit. Greg Allen able to drop the ball back to Weeks.
And again, good job by the Knights, just taking their time, settling down a little bit, finding an easy pass, and you can see they're just slowly working up the field instead of trying to just play it way over the top.
Didi putting on the pressure as the Knights able to get in. Jeremy Wilson playing the ball well up the field, looking for Tyson Ricks. The Knights with the ball in the back line once again. Allen with the ball. Plays it with his left foot straight to the feet of Jeremy Wilson, who's unable to get a good first touch in on it. The Panthers now playing up the field, and you can see the speed of play has slowed down here significantly. You're not sure whether the teams are getting into some sort of passing rhythm or just rhythm in general, or whether maybe fatigue's playing a little in, but it definitely seems to be playing to the advantage of the Knights here late in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have settled down a little bit. You've seen a few subs come on for both teams, but again, a little bit of settling down and more casual play from both teams, stringing together passes rather than trying to just attack relentlessly. And I think it's definitely favoring the Knights as they get a great run up the line here, played into the center.
Ben Knapmeyer looking to get, a possible missed deflection off of the Panthers defender. Unable to do so. And we will have a foul, it looks like, against the Knights. As Ferrum College goes back for a free kick, and they take possession now in midfield. With a beautiful through ball, Colin Flynn comes out to the extremities of the box and clears that out for a throw-in for Ferrum College.
That is a dangerous slide, too. That is very, very brave move to come out like that and go for that, having been in that position before. That is very hard to do and makes center backs very nervous. But again, Colin Flynn, very fearless goalkeeper, not afraid to come off the line and prevent that.
Another substitution for Ferrum College here in the second half. Number 2, Nelson Manzanares, the senior defender out of Stafford, Virginia, will take the back line. Now Ferrum with some attacking pressure of their own here. Swinging it to the midfield. Swinging it out to the right side of the field now. Playing up. Creating some space of their own. The Knights trying to put on some pressure. Successful split of that triangle pass scheme shown by Ferrum College as the referee gives the throw into the Knights, which will be taken by number 6, Christian Rice, the junior out of Buena Vista, Virginia. And the Knights will have another substitution of their own. Number 21, Jackson Lindow, freshman midfielder out of Huntsville, Alabama. Getting some more action as he saw a little bit of action here in the first half. Lindow, one of the taller players on the Knights roster at 6'2". Actually, I believe, with the exception of number 23, Nathan Maloney, the freshman out of Cypress, Texas, the second tallest player on the team.
And yet, surprisingly, it hasn't really been an area where they've shown a great deal of lacking. They actually did quite well on their set pieces to to take advantage of not having the greatest height advantage, but making up for it with set pieces and smart play.
Foul here by the Knights. The ball will be taken for a direct free kick from the 15-yard line on the football field, about 25 yards out. The referee will back it up a little bit. We're about 28 yards out from the goal. And this is definitely shot distance for Ferrum College. And you can see the referee turning his back to deal with the wall as the Panthers might move the ball up maybe a couple more yards.
Another great common tactic in soccer. Very smart. It throws off the whole wall, and smart play, just chipping it right over the wall.
As you said, you saw Jordan Gibson, number 17 for the Panthers, come up off the side of the wall and make a little run just behind it with almost a really dangerous chip just over it. But the Knights able to deal with that, and I'm not sure if there was a foul or if it was an offside call, but the Knights come away with possession. Farnsworth with the ball, trying to pass out to number 30, Ben Knappmeyer. Merritt Weeks passing up the field to number 7, Anthony Bowden, who tries the cross, unable to get it. And the Panthers will regain possession. Just under 13 minutes remaining here in the second half. The Knights trailing the Panthers of Ferrum College 3-0. And the Knights looking to get themselves back in this game here with time winding down in the second period, as the Panthers looking to make a dangerous counterattack, but the Knights successfully dealing with that on the defensive end.
And that's a decent clear, but it's a little bit dangerous. You don't want to play it all the way across the center of the field like that, especially as you saw Ferrum the first to that ball. That can be really dangerous to clear it all the way across back into the center, basically into an attacking position. So I think the right-footedness of the defender there may be factoring into that a little bit. But usually in that circumstance, it's better to turn out left and kick it out to the sideline rather than back into the field where a free shot is open.
Another substitution for Ferrum College, number 19, Peter Karish, who's getting ready to take the field for the Panthers. The Knights with what might have been another offensive opportunity. Greg Allen looking to play what looked like number 21, Jackson Lindau, there on the right wing, but just plays it too far and goes out for a throw-in. Another throw-in here for Ferrum College. Some good triangle passing here for Ferrum College. Passes it into space in the middle. The Knights looking to close gap. The Panthers back out to the right wing. Crosses it over the middle, off of the head of Merritt Weeks. Ferrum maintaining possession.
Oh, good finger save there by Colin Flynn, deflecting that just out enough for the Knights to get something together, keep the possession here. But a great job to play the line and then come off at the right time. As we see another player get pushed into the fence a little bit.
Same player, Tyson Ricks, now pushed into both fences. We're looking to get a little bit of love from both sides of the field there.
It's good to cover both sides like that.
Yeah. And some dangerous play there on the last offensive possession from Ferrum College. That was number 12, Ha Digiindaha. I think I got it right that time, or I hope I did. And a great finger save, as you said there, by Colin Flynn, as the Knights now pushing into the offensive third. Greg Allen up to possibly take a quick free kick, but going to elect to take a step back, send it right over the middle. The Knights fighting for it. Maybe a little push there in the box by Ferrum College. No call from the referee. Anthony Bowden looking to head the ball over the head of Marco Rivera into the goal, but Rivera easily takes care of that as the header falls well short of the goal.
But again, it's that attacking mentality that we keep seeing from the Knights, and they love to just take those shots, even if it's a little bit optimistic. A header from that far, 20 yards, is probably not going to have too much. But again, just keeping pressure on and keeping the game flowing is a very important key for the Knights, especially moving forward.
Good passing there by the Knights. Farnsworth gives up the ball there as we have three Knights saturating right there in the middle of the field. Dede looking to create some opportunities. Farnsworth once again, no foul call by the referee as the ball rolls out of bounds. Farnsworth takes a spill onto the ground. And we will have 3 more subs for Ferrum College, 1 more for the Knights. For the Knights, it will be number 20, Matthew Jones, the sophomore out of Keller, Texas, taking the field for the 3rd time today. He was one of our starters here in the first half. And also started the second half, went off, and now is coming back on for the last 8 minutes and 50 seconds of play.
Yeah, and it looks like as we do get into the last 9 minutes here, Ferrum College electing to put in a few of their players a little lower down on the bench with a pretty comfortable lead. The coach is definitely looking to try some other things. They've had success working down that right line and then crossing it back in, but I think the coach is looking for something else.
And that will be a penalty kick for Southern Virginia University as that ball bounces off the arm of number 4, Mark Kinsley Constant of Ferrum College. Great job by Kobe Bowden just to send in the cross and hope for something. And the Knights came away with a handball there against Ferrum College. Greg Allen out to take the penalty kick to hopefully mark the first goal of the Knights' 2017 soccer season and his first as well.
Yeah, that was an absolutely wonderful cross in, a little bit unlucky as the ball bounces right up into an arm of the defender. But this is a wonderful opportunity for the Knights if they can capitalize on this as Greg Allen looks to take the PK here.
Allen steps back. The referee gives the hand to those on the edge of the box. Allen up to take the kick. And puts it in the back of the net. Allen quickly to the back of the net to grab the ball to restart this game as the Knights try to get back into it. But beautiful composed penalty kick by Greg Allen to draw first blood here for the Knights.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You can see he takes his run not directly to the ball. He moves out to the left and then comes back into the right. And as a right-footed player, the goalie's guessing that he's kicking to the goalie's left, but just puts it on his left very easily. Excellent job there by Greg. The penalty kicks are more of a mental game, honestly, as most players can make a goal from about there. But, again, that's just very tactful, and that's the leadership that the Knights need from their returners. An excellent job by Greg Allen to put that in.
Not to mention the leadership of Greg Allen and not dilly-dallying around. No celebration, the realization that there's only 8 minutes left in this game. They're still down 2 goals, runs back to the back of the net, grabs the ball, 100% business, takes it to the midline, and they get started quickly.
Absolutely. That's exactly what a class player would do there. Play smart. Game's not over. There's still tons of time. And now they're back in it with 7 minutes and 50 seconds going in and hope for 2 more goals here.
Allen fighting for possession there as the Knights do regain possession. Mendoza out on the wing. Allen drops the ball back. They find Jackson Farnsworth, who drops the ball back immediately but had plenty of space in front of him. You would have liked to have seen him maybe open up into space with that right foot there as Ferrum now inside the Knights box as the Knights are able to clear that out.
A good step there by Merritt to just keep that ball out, not let that pressure in.
Ferrum with the cross in the middle, deflected off the Knights' foot, will most likely go out for a corner kick. And that is the case. Out to take the corner kick for Ferrum College is number 19, Peter Karish.
Yeah, it seems like even with the change in substitutions, Ferrum's attack plan has not changed much. Work down that right side and try to get a cross in. Seem to be having a fair amount of success there, and they continue to do that even with new subs.
Karish with the cross in off the head of Ferrum College initially as the Knights clear that out for another Panthers throw-in. Looking at the roster here, number 19, Peter Karish for the Panthers, a freshman out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, a long way from home. Probably a little wetter and colder than he's used to here today.
I'm sure that it is, especially today, yeah.
Ball will roll out for another Ferrum College throw-in. Good little touch there for the Panthers, but the Knights able to deal with that defensively and regain possession and clear that out of their defensive third. Anthony Bowden creating some space for himself, dishing it off to Elijah Mendoza, who passes back in the middle, looking for the feet of Jackson Farnsworth, but the Panthers are there.
Yeah, the Knights doing a much better job this half of not being afraid to turn and drop the ball rather than just continue to attack. So it looks like we have another foul against Ferrum College.
It's a pretty obvious foul there against Tyson Ricks. The referee will stop this clock here on the field, having a word with Peter Karish, as Peter Karish walked right in front of the ball to try to disrupt any sort of quick play there by the Knights. And that will probably be his one warning. If we see it again, there will probably be a yellow card. But now Greg Allen setting up for the direct free kick. We'll see if he tries to put it on frame here. Definitely doable. Or if he sees to cross it and tries to cross it into the middle for a potential header.
Knights definitely stacking the box here. Looks like it falls to the ground. And
oh, and just off the right foot of Captain Merritt Weeks and deflects off of the hands of Marco Rivera in the goal for Ferrum College as the Knights almost come away with a second goal, which would have made this game interesting with only 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very close on that. It's difficult to hold on to the ball, and so I think the Knights were trying to take advantage of any little opportunity there as the ball may have come out of the hands of the goalie. Doing a pretty good job to keep it down there, but he may have gotten his hand stepped on a little bit.
Looks like both teams rechecking in some starters back on the field as Keith Ricks takes the field for Ferrum College and Jeremy Wilson, as well as Matt Deedy for the Knights, retake the field. Deedy most likely just getting a nice stretch in on the sideline as we saw him cramping earlier. Weeks plays back to senior goalkeeper Colin Flynn. Jeremy Wilson with a lot of pressure on his back there, looking to turn the corner as Ferrum comes away with possession. And the ball will roll outside of the inline for another Knights goal kick. And we will have yet another Ferrum College substitution. That is freshman number 30, Santiago Juven from Guayaquil, Ecuador. A lot of international players here for Ferrum College, Sam.
Definitely. Merritt Weeks doing a good job to head that one out, not let anything over the top.
Puerto Rico, Ivory Coast, Thailand, England, United Arab Emirates, and Ecuador all being represented by Ferrum College players. And what's funny enough is that if you're not an international player on Ferrum College soccer team, that you're from Virginia. Most all the other players are from Virginia, but I'm sure it must be fun for a lot of those players to get some other cultures on the team.
Some interesting recruiting, I'm sure, going on there.
Yeah, for sure. The ball flies well out of bounds for Knights throw-in. Tyson Ricks taking that quickly for the Knights as Ferrum College deflects it well up into the air. Dijindaha deflecting that back into his own defensive third as Jackson Farnsworth attempts to put lots of pressure there on the Ferrum College defender and is successful in doing so as the Knights will hurry for a corner kick. Jackson Farnsworth taking that very quickly off the head of Matt Deedy, but wide right of the far post.
Excellent job by Deedy, though, to run from the defensive third and then come up, get his head on that corner. Wonderful job there.
Now checking in for Ferrum College is junior defender number 20, Antonio Carabota, out of Richmond, Virginia. Rivera, the Puerto Rico native, clearing it just over midfield as the Knights looking to gain possession, but having a friendly collision there. Dede dropping it back to Colin Flynn. Two minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the second half of play. The Knights desperately looking for some offensive play here to end the second half and this first match of their regular season. Flynn electing to roll the ball out to the feet of Captain Merritt Weeks for the Knights, who plays out to number 7, Anthony Bowden. Back to the feet of Mendoza, who plays it up. And Bowden not able to get back to that ball.
Really a good attempt, though, by the Knights. You could see the triangle there they're trying to work for. Even in the last 2 minutes, it's good to see a disciplined team settle down and not try to go for anything too crazy. Good to see them just pass around like that.
And looks like somewhat of a whiffed pass there. Barely misplaced foot. The Knights give up possession to the Panthers here in the midfield, but fighting to get it back, and they're able to do so. Merritt Weeks creating some space.
Excellent
up to the feet of
pass.
Tyson Ricks there in the box. And Tyson Ricks taking yet another spill here as he is battling a 1v1 against number 4 for the Panthers, Mark Kinsley Constant, who was able to impose his physicality a little bit on the freshman Tyson Ricks.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of extra contact there. So we'll see plenty of time come off the clock here for this goal kick.
And that's what 4 inches and 55 pounds will do there, Sam.
Yeah, it is a bit of a mismatch. Oh, as Ferrum looks to have a pretty good counter here. Colin Flynn out early, able to be there for that. He's doing a really good job of playing a little bit of that sweeper back there almost. He's a little bit off his line most of the time, so he's able to make that decision if he wants to go forward or come back. He's done a really good job for the most part all game of doing that.
Knights looking for any sort of last-second attempt at goal. 10 seconds remaining here in the second half of play. And the Panthers of Ferrum College will clear that out to the edge. Greg Allen looking to throw the ball into the box. Time will expire here at Knight Field, here at the Fields at Southern Virginia University. And the Knights will fall in their home opener non-conference game against Ferrum College 3-1 as the Knights able to get away with a penalty kick goal by Greg Allen here late in the second half.
And I think, a pretty good second half by the Knights. They came out and you could see a lot more composure, a lot more control. They kind of settled down and you could see they started to play back with the whole team, use the defense to try to build up the field rather than just try to launch it over to try to find a striker. So really a good job of settling down. First half, I think, home opener, they come out a little bit excited. Everybody's willing to run, and then by the second half, you're a little bit tired, so you're a little bit smarter sometimes, and electing to play the ball back and work forward rather than just try to make someone else work forward. So good teamwork there in the end by the Knights. A much better second half from them, and getting the result of a goal on a free kick or a penalty kick from Greg Allen.
Yeah, Sam, I completely agree, with the exception of that one hiccup right at the very beginning of the second half where the beautiful cross by Sam May, the England native of Ferrum College, found the feet of Thailand native Chachi Mais with a beautiful finish there, which put the Panthers up 3-0. Like you said, the Knights came out the rest of the second half and really, really started playing methodically and passing really well. And playing a lot slower, which you'll find opens a lot more opportunities up on the offensive third, allows you to find space much better. And the kicker is that you save a lot of your energy. So your pace also benefits from that kind of play. And so there must be some good feelings, surely, from Coach Jan Boer of the Knights, who has just taken control of this team just 2 weeks ago, seeing his team really settle in and play some great methodical soccer here late in the second half. Despite the loss in their home opener, some promising things being shown here late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that Coach Boer does have his players pretty well controlled. Obviously, they're not incredibly happy with some of the plays and a little bit of the result, but you can see they were still composed. They were still their own player, and they still enjoyed playing the game. Even at the end there, you could see they're trying to hustle to get something more. So, again, great job by the Knights and finishing out the game. Really strong second half from them, and a lot to build on with the whole season ahead of them.
So just to recap this game, Knights home opener here at the Fields at Southern Virginia University against Ferrum College. Ferrum College went up 2-0 and quick in the first half with a beautiful set-piece goal by number 10, Michael Lyons, just outside the box, went near post on Colin Flynn. And then a later first-half goal from number 6, Keith Ricks, the senior out of Arlington, Virginia for Ferrum College, going into halftime up 2-0 against the Knights. Ferrum College came back in the second half, scored very quickly with a beautiful assist by Sam May from the right wing, finding the feet of Chachi Mize, where the Knights were able to really settle down, as we've mentioned multiple times here following this match, Sam. And the Knights were able to get a penalty kick goal by Greg Allen as they fall to the Panthers 3-1 in their home opener. Now looking forward to their next game of the season. Let me pull out the schedule here against Shenandoah at Shenandoah on, well, I believe that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Surprisingly, they have a game following today's home opener immediately tomorrow. The players will be looking to get a lot of rest and TLC tonight as they prepare for that game. Not having a lot of depth, as we mentioned, the players will have to do their due diligence tonight and tomorrow morning getting recovered for that game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that'll be a good game for them. Their next home game is Tuesday, September 12th at Washington and Lee. Again, we can look forward to seeing you then. That'll be at 7:30, Tuesday, September 12th.
So, Knights fans, we appreciate your viewership here this afternoon here at the Fields at Southern Virginia University. I'm Jake McMahon from Sam Horman and our broadcasting director, Craig Reese, here at Southern Virginia University. We thank you, and we will see you next time on September 12th against Washington and Lee at 7:30 p.m. here at the Fields. SVU Watch It. Thank you, and have a good evening.